What's up, everybody? It's Bryson Carter from the Journey Podcast. Just wanted to take a minute to clear up the fact that we are not professionals, and what you hear on this podcast is just opinions from people that really inspire me, and hopefully it'll bring the same amount of inspiration to you as well. But if you legit are struggling with depression or how you feel about yourself, please go see a professional. There are professionals out there that can help you, and we are not those professionals. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast, and hopefully you guys can take something away from it that can help you on your day-to-day life journey. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Journey Podcast, episode number 10. I just want to take a moment to apologize for the audio. We were recording outside. I didn't expect the winds to be that bad, so some of the audio turned out a little bit funny. So I tried to edit out most of the bad stuff, but it's just the way it is. Some of it still turned out pretty rough. So I apologize for that. Normally, it's not going to be as good as it normally is, but it's still not too bad. So hopefully you guys can get some good out of it. Jack did an amazing job. We had a really good conversation, so I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. But again, I'm sorry for the audio. Next time we'll try to record it inside or in a place where there's not so much wind that it cuts it off. So appreciate you guys. Enjoy the podcast.
Then I think the biggest thing is looking past, looking at your past and being I got from here to here, that wouldn't have been possible. Yeah. There's no other way to explain it without God being in the picture.
Journey family, welcome back to episode number 10 of the Journey Podcast. I'm glad that you chose to listen today, because today I have a very special person sitting on the other side of this table doing this interview with me. Just, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jack Brinkley. He plays in Mad Impact. It's really awesome. We don't lead, but he does a lot of the band stuff. So could you explain what instrument you play, stuff like that?
Yeah, of course. So electric guitar. I started when I was really young. I started actually a little bit before I was in middle school. So I'm doing that currently, and I also intern there right now. So that's going on until May. And just been playing in the band, playing electric, acoustic here and there, but it's mainly electric lead guitar.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, and you guys did a really good job. All right, so as I ask you this, is because a lot of times when we're doing stuff like that, it's pushing outside of our comfort zone. And so doing new things and trying new things, it's a good thing, but it can be scary at first. So what was your experience like the first time ever going on stage, or were you comfortable, or was it like a push past your comfort zone?
Oh man, I was definitely out of my comfort zone, I would say. But I think it's a great thing, because I can say during my time at Impact in general, I've been pushed to do a lot of things that are outside of my comfort zone. But I think that's what helps you grow as a person. And I think it might be uncomfortable in the moment, but things like that are really what grow you to be who you're meant to be. And I think God wants us to be, and who we're called to be.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, so on pushing outside of your comfort zone, what would you suggest to people who are afraid to do that?
So people who are afraid to be pushed outside of their comfort zone, I mean, it sounds like, I don't know. I would say just do it, because at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter what people think, because you overthink that people are going to judge you more than they actually will. That's what I've come to learn. Like when I first started playing an Impact, and I was worried about how I look on stage. Do I sound good? Did I hit every chord right? And at the end of the day, it's like, that doesn't matter, man. If I'm doing it to glorify God, He's the only audience I should be worried about.
Yeah.
And I think if you're doing something that you know is the right thing, and you feel like you're being called to do, it just, you know, 100%. And it's not going to be easy.
No.
But,
Yeah.
but if you want to get to where you want to be, that's just what you got to do, I guess.
Yeah. So do you feel that way now? Or is it, I know it's a lot different, but do you still feel that a little bit of
I think maybe not as much playing on stage, but the internship wise, Chris will have me do stuff like speaking on stage and stuff every now and then. That's definitely my comfort zone. Like public speaking, that's been something I've never really done. So yeah, something like this is like up. So here you go. I was like, man, I'll do it.
yeah, man. Well, that's awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate it again, man. Yeah. It's yeah, I know it's not everybody's thing, but it's cool. It's cool. So some people you'll say all this stuff about be positive or push yourself out of your comfort zone. Some people don't really see the point in doing that because their life is comfortable right now, or they don't think that, oh, I need to push myself to do this because why would I do that? And I'm comfortable. What would you suggest to people if you think that there's no point, or what is the point in your opinion?
Man, I definitely, and I could see that. I see that every day with people where, if you're comfortable, why move? There's no point.
Yeah,
I think if you're comfortable, there's no growth. And I think that we're on this earth for a reason, and we wake up every single day with a purpose. And I don't think that purpose is just to do the same thing. Like, I think that the growth is just an important thing. And, some people, if they don't want to, like, that's okay. I think that, I guess, this maybe you have to get to the moment where you see the point first.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of so do you think people can be yeah, because you're right. There's a lot of different people. Do you think people could be truly happy if they're always comfortable?
I mean, I'm sure that there has been people who are happy that are always comfortable. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think that I don't think that that's what we're meant for. I think we're meant for more. Like, I'm meant to do more, and we have a purpose, and that purpose isn't gonna be comfortable. I mean, look at everyone famous. I mean, they didn't do it just by sitting around and doing the same thing every day. I mean, it requires more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's hard to do. Hard to
It is, oh, for sure. I mean, it's an everyday struggle. There's been days where I'm like, I don't want to go on stage. I just want to sit in my bed all day. But
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, you seem very natural at it now. I'm sure.
oh yes,
You know.
and it took time. I mean, I've
Oh
been
yeah.
doing it for so long now, and even now, like there are days where like I'm just like I guess would rather be doing something else because it's life. I mean, once it gets to the mundane, like you got to realize the purpose behind it always.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when Mason came on like a month ago, we were talking about uh purpose versus calling, and he was like, "Well, he don't always feel like we feel God a lot when y'all are playing because I mean, Impact does. We There's a lot of really awesome God moments in that church,
Course, yeah.
but it can get a little bit monotonous, I'm sure, just keep doing the same thing and you don't always feel it. So I guess I don't even know if it's really a question, but just saying like, does it ever really get monotonous for you? Like what you were saying, like some days you feel God and some days you don't. It's just you just kind of get the motion sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course. And it really like would back from something like camp or something like that. It's like there's this big moment and it feels like, dude, like God is in the room. Like it feels like everyone's so into it. And then we come back and it's like the next week, it's like back to normal. And I think that happens a lot, especially, because there are student I mean, it's student ministry. So it's gonna be hard some weeks. There are students who just want to talk with their friends all the time. Yeah. And that's fine because like I think like we're a church and we want them to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to come to a place where they feel like they're forced to worship or they're forced to get off their phones and not talk to their friends. Like I think the fact that they're there matters the most and planting that seed is the biggest thing. So I think that's what we have to remind ourselves constantly. But there definitely are days where it's like either we just feel like no one's engaged or we feel like we're hitting all the wrong notes or maybe we just don't even want to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, you definitely be feeling them camp blues when you come back.
Oh, sir, dude. Every year, man.
Yeah. Oh, this year's gonna be a little different because it's the last one.
Yeah,
But
senior year camp,
yeah,
that hits different, right?
trust me. Right. Okay, so this is kind of shifting gears just a little bit. So, although there's a variety of people that listen to my podcast, um, there is a lot of people our age, which are seniors about to graduate and start their life. Um, I don't know. You're not. I mean, you're still young, but you've already graduated and started your life. What would you suggest to people like me, seniors, who it like is kind of terrifying to be like, oh, starting life here in a month or two, is what would you suggest to people like me and the rest of the seniors who are a little bit nervous about what's coming up?
I would 100% say, like, I mean, you can't put too much pressure on yourself because you're still young. And life is hard. And when you graduate, it feels like a million things are flying at you at once, especially with all the people saying, what do you want to do when you grow? Where are you going to go to college? What do you want your job to be? Like, I was there, dude, I took a yak year, actually, because I had no idea I was going to go to Atlanta and go to music school. Like that was my plan forever because I wasn't really a good student in high school. Like, I wasn't like bad, but I like my grade very well. I didn't really try. I didn't put any effort in. School just wasn't really my thing because I was like, I do music. Like, music's what I do. I'm gonna be a full-time music. Like, I'm going to college for music, so math and all this stuff doesn't matter right now. And then, like, flash forward now, and then, like, right after high school, I just had this feeling where I was just like, maybe that's not what I'm meant to do. And, like, I love music, and I'm never gonna stop playing music, but I think it's more of a hobby to me.
Hmm.
So I decided to go to college, and it was crazy because like, years ago, I would have never thought I'd be going to college, so
Yeah.
it's crazy.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I think just it's okay to not know where you wanna go, and it's okay to maybe think you wanna do a certain thing and then change your mind because I mean, that's the point of, like, we're in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about those students who they think that they had a feeling about something? And I know this is I don't know if this is a good question or not, but I'm just gonna go for it. So you have the students who think that they're meant to do something. Like you said, you it was music. And then they kind of get going with it, and then they decide, oh wait, that's not what I was meant to do. Like kind of like what you were saying. But they're scared to change because they've always had that one thing that they thought they were supposed to do
Yeah.
and go for. What would you suggest to people who are scared to change it?
Like, I literally went through that exact thing. I mean, my parents were, like, stoked for me to go to music school. Like, they're really supportive of whatever I do, but they know that, like, school isn't my strong suit, so they, like, wanted that for me. So, I think that was what I was most nervous about was, like, telling them that I didn't want to because like, I had it planned out and everything, like, the school's in Atlanta, and I would be there right now, so it would have been last October.
Okay.
And that's actually why I took the gap year because I didn't wanna move yet, I didn't wanna move away from home. But I feel like there were so many reasons why I did it, like the summit.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave the impact and a lot of things. But I would say to the people who are afraid, like, no one can tell you what you can't do. I mean, if you truly believe in yourself and you put that step in and you do the work, like do what you want to do because don't do something because you feel like someone else wants it for you.
Mm.
Like, obviously, I think you need to do something with your life. Everyone needs to do something with their life.
Yeah.
You don't need to live your life according to everyone else or you'll never be happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the audio is bad, sorry guys, the wind is pretty
Yeah.
it's pretty intense here.
It is.
Yeah. All right. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna ask this question, which is why I put a little star. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's a this podcast is kind of based on like mindsets. And it started off as like a positive growth mindset was like the thing, and then we kind of changed it.
Yeah.
It's just we talk a lot about other stuff. So in your opinion, and it can be multiple, and it doesn't have to be like, you know, a scientific like
Yeah.
term or anything like that. What would be the best mindsets in your opinion to hold for people to have and like the best life?
The best philosophy. That's a
Deep question, bro.
I mean, of course, everyone wants to say positive, but it's easier said than done when negative things happen because I've seen so many people who live off that, like, just have a positive mindset, and then something bad happens, and it's like, "What happened?" You know?
Yeah.
So that's hard. So I wanna say, like, I guess just the best mindset that you could have would be humble. I think that's very important.
Okay.
And I think that just, like, if your mindset's rooted in faith, you know, that's that's always the best place to go,
Yeah.
you know? So I think a humble mindset and I think that having a positive mindset is very important, but it can be hard, you know?
Oh, for sure. Hard. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely not an easy road to take.
Yeah.
It's I think it's definitely a long term happiness road.
Yeah.
But just some of those moments is hard to
Hard.
yeah, it really is hard. Yeah. So what would be and I struggle with talking about this specific case. Me and Rylan talked about it last so too. What would you suggest to people who have a hard time finding that
Yeah.
because of bad things going on?
And that's really like, that's hard for me to say because it almost like I know so many people, like, who I'm personally close with who are struggling with mental health and depression and anxiety, and it's like, for me, I've never experienced anything like that, and it's like, I almost wanna say just like, I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
So, I think that finding fate is, like, the biggest thing you can do because this life, like, is not meant to live alone. And I know it's hard for people. And I mean, I like personally know a lot of people who struggle with that. And I try to help them. And it's, it's eye-opening because I learned from them. Yeah, they look at life differently. And that's just I think you have to just find your support group, find your people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. We talked a lot about that last episode too.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'll ask you the same question that I asked him. What would you suggest to people who are not in the right group right now and they know it?
Yeah. And that's really hard. It is really hard because you don't want to let your friends down. You don't want to just be a jerk and be like, peace out. But like, that, like, say they're bad influences, because I've had plenty of that. Like, I've had that experience. I think we all have. I did. So it's like, I just assume that, like, yeah, everyone's messed up. And I think it's whether their intentions, they don't care. They don't want to change. They're set on their own path and they don't care. Like, there's so much you could do. So I think distancing yourself from those people and finding the right people, and it's not going to be easy, but I think it is important
Yeah, for sure.
because you are who you hang out with, and like who you hang out with will define who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. And that could be hard to hear too, especially if you know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know it.
Because like wonder, it could be friends you've been like childhood friends. You've been friends with your entire life. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but you got to do right by yourself. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because we still gotta love first, especially as followers of Jesus.
yeah, you got to love first. And I'm not saying don't love them. Of course, love, yeah, and still be there for them and help them as much as you can. Because another thing is like you don't want to seem like you're judging them. That's a big thing. Because like we're no better than them. Like we're no better than our bad influence friends or anything like that. Like everyone's imperfect and everyone needs Jesus just as much. So
Absolutely.
it's a hard medium to find, like to help push them in the right direction, but not to feel like a hypocrite judging it. It's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a lot of prayer and just guide through.
Space. You just gotta trust, man, because it's hard. Like it's hard. Like 'cause it's hard to see. Like who are you to judge? But at the same time, you don't want to surround yourself with that energy
Yeah.
if they're just gonna lead you down the wrong path.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, man, that was good. We'll just stop folding this paper. Just the wind catches it. So, all right. Okay. So you seem to be, and you might not used to be, but you seem to be very confident, or you express that to at least if you don't, you hide it well. Yeah, don't fit. So,
I think that's it.
well, how have you gained? Because I think that you're definitely, especially if you're looking at just the band stuff, you become more confident. So, how have you gained confidence, and how can maybe we start taking those steps towards it?
I mean, honestly, the best thing I've ever done, and it sounds crazy. I literally just faked it till I make it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I don't think of myself as a confident person, but I don't want others to see that. I guess it's like an ego thing. And so I kind of just like made myself act confident until it kind of came out.
Yeah, man.
And yeah. And I think having conversations with people helps, like getting out of your comfort zone. Like I think that makes you more confident in doing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
And doing what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. So with confidence comes a level of not really caring what other people think.
Yeah.
So how have you like, and I know that it's easier, like everybody overthinks what people think. Just it's human nature to want people to like you and to fit in. And I'm not sure if this is the case for you, but how can we as humans just take the steps to not overthink what people think?
Yeah.
So I know I struggle with that a lot.
And honestly, like 100% honest, that right there is one of my biggest struggles. Like I constantly overthink what people think. Yeah, like I'm always like seeking validation, seeking like approval, like just always, always. So that's a big thing for me. And what I've learned is just like it's most of the time is never what you think it is. Like what you think people are thinking, usually they're not because everyone's caught up in their own light, to be focused on yours. So I think that's a big thing, but it's hard. And I understand that. 'Cause,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I live it every day. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I struggle with that a lot too, man. It's it's not abnormal to struggle with that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's yeah. I realized something the other day because, um, you think that other people are thinking certain things about you, and I had someone tell me one time. He's like, "Oh yeah, I was in the gym working out, and I thought these guys were like talking about me in a negative way." And then I went up, or I was passing them, and they tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, you are actually really doing really well with your reps and stuff." So you never know what someone's thinking. And I think if we just could block it out, just try to.
Yeah, it's hard to always think that people are looking at you or watching you. In reality, they usually are.
Yeah,
Usually they're not even paying attention. So it's like you just feel like you're constantly being judged. And I think it's just realizing, and I think you gotta look at it as yourself, because like whenever you walk out in public, you're not looking at every single person and judging, or maybe some people do, but you know, I think that's the big thing.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Is realizing that, like, usually most of the time, they're just living their own life and going about their day. And if they do judge you, that's on them. I mean, you can't control everyone. If people are gonna judge you, they're gonna do it regardless, whether you step outside your comfort zone or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, because we think we can control it. I think.
Yeah.
Like, or even if you do everything right, you're gonna have a hater.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. People, you're always with. You always will. That's life. People
Yeah.
always say,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was David Goggins, and I know I use a lot of his quotes. Um, he's not for everybody because I also like this one dude that's like, it's okay to sit and relax and think because that's what you need. But David Goggins said that you'll never find a hater that's actually doing better than you. And I'm not saying that as maybe that's probably not the mindset we should all hold is trying to love first, but most of the time when people hate, it's out of jealousy.
oh, yes, for sure. And that's true. I mean, you gotta love first, but at the same time, people will hate on you. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and they will judge. That's just life. And then people do that out of jealousy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And most of the time they're thinking of what you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
I think we almost put ourselves as just like, we think that they're thinking negatively about us, but it's probably flipped for them because they're thinking the same thing for sure, But for sure. All right. So, what drives you?
What drives me? Well, oh, wow. Threw that one in. Um, man, that drives me. I would have to say deep down, like, and it's not always, I want it, I want my answer to be God, but sometimes that's not what drives me. And that's what I try every day. But like, as human nature, like sometimes other things drive me. Sometimes like popularity will drive me. Sometimes, well, at the end of the day, it's all about, I think, dying to yourself and realizing you need to follow Jesus. And that needs to be your main driver. And I want to say that, but a lot of other things drive me.
Yeah, but for sure. Yeah, well, that's awesome, man. And you're not always going to get perfect.
Oh, yeah. No, we are. Yeah.
You're going to have times where, or I know I have, and I know a lot of people in the church, is I think people have this idea that if you're a follower of Jesus, you have to have everything perfect, and you cannot like
Yeah.
I don't know. I know some places where it's like you have to go by a certain thing and you have to be a certain way, and if you screw up, well, you've done it now.
And there are churches that go by that. Just like up as you are, Like you don't have to get cleaned up to go into the shower. It's like, don't go to a church expecting to find perfect people. I think that's some people's biggest problem is they go to a church and it's like filled with sinners. It's like, what do you expect? I mean, what's perfect?
Yeah.
And I think it's constantly about trying to change, but you're never gonna get it.
No.
You always just need that bricks.
Yeah, it's definitely a hospital for sinners. Yeah. Yeah. For sure, man. So what do you say to a lot of people beat themselves up because of that?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I do.
I know I do. Yeah, I know a lot of people who do. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think, yeah.
I used to have the mindset where if I wasn't perfect, I wouldn't do it right. And so it actually was recently. I've recently been able to kind of tone that down and just be, you're good the way you are, but there's also a better you. And so I think, what would you suggest to people who like me, because I'm not excluded from this, I do this because I need to learn, is how would you like to stop beating yourself up for that? Like, it's okay not to be perfect.
And it's hard. And I think a big thing is that's what drives so many people away from it. away from Christianity is because they're like, well, I'll never be good enough. So like, it's already too late for me. Like I've already done bad enough. Like I'm done for.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. And it sucks because that's the truth that a lot of people are facing. And it's because some churches push that, and it's terrible. But advice that I would give to not beat yourself up over it is just look around, man. I mean, everybody struggles with it. Find someone who you look up to at the church and talk to them, and I guarantee you they could give you a list, you know. And I mean, the Bible, no one was perfect in the Bible. Like, look at the people Jesus used. He used sinners, like people who if they the religious people looked at Jesus and was like, why are you hanging out with these people? Like, why are you like these are pieces of garbage, And like these are religious people saying that, and like that's who he called the hypocrites. You know?
So absolutely, man. Wow, man, that was good. I like it. Yeah, I think yeah, we definitely put ourselves on I don't really know if the terminology to describe it best, but a lot of people when they look in the mirror, they're not happy with what they see. And I know that's the case for me sometimes. And some days are better than others. Obviously, it's an up and down emotion of confidence and non-confidence and whether you feel good about yourself or not. So, what about comparison?
I do that. That's something I struggle with a lot too. So like and I think it all boils down to like it's because you know yourself. Like you know yourself and you have no idea what that person goes through. And yes, they might not struggle with the same thing you struggle with, but they struggle with something. And I think that's why community is so important, is because like I might not struggle with the same thing that you struggle with, and you might not struggle with what I struggle with, but we can talk to each other and have that conversation and know that we're not alone. Yeah. So like that doesn't make one person better than anybody. I think it just shows that everyone's different. Everyone struggles. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Yeah, like the social media, like what social media puts out there, like the perfect life and like, what
Media, yeah. Social media is rough. Yeah. And I understand why a lot of people are backing away from it.
yeah. No, I still haven't gotten most of the biggest platforms because I feel like there's so much that I can work on and strive for in my life that I don't see the need. I really don't because I mean, I think it's cool to be able to connect with friends, but you look at that, you spend 20 minutes looking at somebody else's life that is perfect, quote quotations, perfect.
Well,
And then you're like, well, that sucks because I'm not that way. Instead of actually like they're trying to better yourself.
yeah, no. And people are gonna post what they want you to see. Yeah. Because they're not gonna post the bad pictures and like all the angles that they cut and all that stuff. Like they're gonna post the perfect picture from the perfect moment because like that's what they want their being to look like.
Yeah.
And it's never the reality. And I think that you just gotta go into it with an open mind, knowing like their life is on perfect.
Yeah. I guess if you're trying to paint the perfect life for other people, you're not too happy with what you're living. Depending, I guess. But for sure, yeah. Should start that trend, just being like, just posting like real life stuff.
Yeah.
Hashtag real life. Yeah. All right. So we've already talked like as followers of Jesus, it's hard to love somebody and then they turn around and say something to you or do something that's just not cool. And it can be hard to still love first, even after the situation. So how can we, and again, we're not professionals and I don't want anybody to think that we are. Yeah, I wanted to lie with this podcast because it's like, God, we're not the professional opinion, but also, we're living life together. The reason it's called the journey is because we're journeying together.
Yeah.
So how can everyone, love people first, regardless of the situation that is maybe they treated you wrong or they did something to you that was just, bad and just show them how it should be, even though that's hard.
That's really hard. Because there's some people you just don't you know that they don't deserve it, according to you. But I think you gotta look at it through a filter of like yourself. Like Jesus died for me
Mm.
and I do this to him every day. You know? So like who am I to shut you out because you did me wrong? Like you're taking the Lord's name in vain every day that you sin. Like you're constantly disobeying and everyone is.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at it from a humble perspective of that, it helps a lot, but it doesn't make it easier. That it doesn't make it easier because you're in the moment, you're mad. You wanna say something to make 'em mad. You wanna start to,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard, and that's something I also have struggled with, and I think everyone struggles with that. I mean, that's a hard thing, treating people right who treat you terrible.
Yeah. Oh, it is hard. Yeah. And you said something about them not deserving it. It can be hard to see it from the perspective of we didn't deserve Jesus's love either.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to act that way, which we're not perfect, so we're not always going to do that. There's sometimes you say something, you got to go back and you got to apologize for it. And that's just life.
Yeah.
Striving to be better every day, though, is what it's about, I think. Yeah. And just continuing to try to get closer and closer to what Jesus was.
Yeah. And look, you also gotta look at it like Jesus died for them too. Like, no matter what they did for you, like, the same sacrifice he did for me when I didn't deserve it, like, he did it for them. Everyone, like, everyone, like, there is no limit to that. Like, even the people you don't like, they're still God's children.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's hard to admit.
Yes.
It really can be.
I mean, I guess I can go back to the like the church accepting everyone just the way that they are. Yeah. Especially if they think that they don't deserve it. It's like, well, really, you don't either. We're all as human beings that we don't deserve it, but that's what makes it so special is that we can try to be like Jesus because he loved us, and he gave us that grace that we didn't really deserve.
Yeah.
So, and again, I've said it before, if you're not a follower of Jesus, like it's okay. I suggest you to try it. Come to Impact, the Summit. I'm obviously not advertising for the show because there's a lot of really awesome churches, but it just try it. Try to see because the reason I say the Summit is because they definitely accept you. They accepted me for who I was and everybody, and it's really a beautiful thing. But
It is.
it really is. Yeah. All right, so I asked this question on every podcast episode because I think it kind of staples people during the journey, you look back and you've been here and you're going here, and you are here and you're going there. And so you can look back and be like, oh, this is how far I've come. And so that's what this question is kind of based on. So if you were to meet your younger self from, let's say elementary school to where you are now,
Okay.
and I know this changes, but you've lived what you've lived and you've experienced what you've experienced. What would be the 3 messages that you would tell him today before you never saw him again?
Wow. I would say first, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't worry about what people think about you, and just do it, and don't regret anything. Live life with no regrets. Yeah. Like, don't let anyone tell you you can't, and don't not do something because you're afraid of what someone's gonna think. And that's something like there's been so many moments where I look back on something you didn't do. Like, you're never gonna regret something, but you'll always regret something you didn't do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But I guess if you do regret something you did too, you do realize, well, I mean,
I'm talking like pausing. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like,
yeah, yeah. Obviously, if you regret what something you did do, you probably should do it again. It's like you learned that too. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, what was it? Uh, I think it was Bartlett that said this. That you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Like, yeah, yeah. It's hard to do though because you don't know. Oh well, I'm not good enough, or you know, or it'll work out. Exactly. Yeah. And so, what would you suggest to people who are afraid to try new things, such as as students, or people who, and I know this is kind of taken away from what you were saying. It's kind of a segue here. Um, or people who are at a job right now that they don't like, and they will kind of want to be like, oh, I want to try this. It's kind of hard to do because I'm in this space and it's comfortable, and it's nothing's bad going to happen to me if I'm here. But I'm also have this thing out here. It's my opportunity. If I don't take it, I'm going to regret it.
Yeah.
But it's a scary leap.
it is a scary leap.
Yeah.
But if you're, as a person, like, if you're not happy where you're at, like, don't do, like, just take the leap no matter what. You might fail, but that's okay. But, like, if you want to see yourself in that position that you're dreaming of, like, you have to,
Take steps.
you got to take that step, and it's not going to be easy, but that's just what you got to do to be who you want to be,
Yeah,
live life with no regrets, you know.
absolutely, man. Yeah. And no regrets of not trying.
Yeah,
That's for
yeah,
sure.
no regrets of not trying, yeah.
No, yeah, I wasn't trying to correct you. I was just
So, yeah, just think
it was yeah. The reason I say that is because there's some of the bit because I was afraid to try it, and I say that from experience of like even though I'm only 17, like there's things that I wish I would have done in high school that now that chapter of my life is over or almost over, wish you would have done.
you could put that you could fill that with anything, like a sport, like, "Man, I really wanna play football, but what are people gonna think? Man, I really wanna do this, but what are people gonna think?" It's like, just do it if you wanna do it, then do it, and if you mess up, don't come I think if you mess up, you mess up, yeah, like, that's human nature. We're gonna fall, but there won't be any growth if you'll dude.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I think overthinking what people think about you is like the major. It stops. But it's like the major. I don't really know how to say it, but you know what I'm saying. Like it doesn't help you in any way.
It's like your biggest roadblock,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
and that's all you. I mean, that's a complete mental thing, like, you can control that if you try hard enough. I mean, it's not gonna be easy, but it's all you, like, no one else can make the move but you.
so what do you think would be the necessary steps to be like start changing that mindset?
I think the first necessary step is to watch, what I did to get myself in the right mindset sometimes is I listen to worship music a lot. That helps.
Yeah.
Uh, I would suggest, like, finding, like, someone, like, an artist or, like, an artist or a podcaster that you like. Like, for example, like, I don't know if you're familiar with, like, George Janko and, like, Cliff Crenshaw and all of them.
Oh yeah.
So I watched him a lot, just whenever I feel overwhelmed and whenever I feel like I need advice, like, what people who I know, like, famous or not, that I can look up to and get good advice from to put myself in the right mindset.
Yeah.
So I think, like, filtering your mind, like, putting all that stuff in your mind rather than just, you know, telling yourself that because it takes both. Like, sometimes it takes more mentor, any help, read a book about it. I think anything, as long as you're filling your mind with positivity and with the influences, that's always gonna, it's never gonna hurt.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I definitely take that to heart because I don't need to always be listening to Morgan Wallen.
No, I need to be like, I love it.
Yeah, great artist, but I also need to be, and I do pretty good with listen. Yeah, so
It can be hard, and definitely sometimes I'll get in the kicks where like I just want to listen to my music
yeah.
or like over worship music, like that happens. But you just gotta take a step back and thankfully there are good worship music songs out there. Like it's not like terrible to listen to. Like they're actually good music.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Some of the best moments I've had with God is just listening to the words of a really good country or uh Christian song,
Yeah.
worship song. I guess it's just yeah, it's just those moments, and you can't really. I also struggle with. I want to feel that every time, but I don't, and so like, when we're worshiping at Impact, I feel it especially when we're at camp. When we're all sitting there together and we're all worshiping and it's like last 2 nights of camp, we all feel it really well. And then you come home and you have all these stressors like we were talking about earlier. And it can be hard sometimes, especially for followers of Jesus who like to feel God's presence.
Discouraging, you don't feel it 'cause it's like, is he there?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, I don't feel God, so he must not be there. Like he must not care.
Yeah.
And that's hard for a lot of people. But like just knowing that, like, and it sounds like it just, it's like Christian talk. Like he's so close to you when he's not there, but that's true. Like
Yeah.
it really is true. And some people like say it doesn't make sense. And I think it's something you got to experience for yourself. You know,
Yeah. So you talk about like Christian talk with that. It, it's a I it's okay to wonder that, a lot of people think that it's not. You, that you get down and and people like, well, is God real? And then you feel him and then he's there. How can we? It's just part of a question to ask. And if you don't want to answer, just say, oh, just skip. But how can we start shifting that, I guess?
yeah. And I think that's a big step in everyone's faith journey, and I think a lot of people are afraid to admit it
Yeah.
because they're like, it's hard. Like, you almost feel like a bad Christian or like, God's gonna judge you if you doubt him.
Mm,
But that's natural instinct to doubt something you can't see.
yeah.
I mean, that's hard, and it's I think that's the big step from like maybe you were born into like a Christian household and you were taught Christian your whole life, and that's just what you say you are. And I think like once you have that moment where you doubt and then like you realize like you got to find it for yourself that God's real, that's a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think there's, a lot of mentality stuff is like, oh, step by step, you can get to. It's not.
It's ups and downs all the time. You're gonna feel moments where you're like, God, where are you? Like nowhere. And it feels like, but But then, like, I think the biggest thing is like looking past, like looking at your past and being like, like I got from here to here, like that wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah,
Like, there's no other way to explain it without God being in the picture.
for sure.
So I think it's hard when you're in the moment, but then you look back and you're like, hey, dude,
Yeah,
I got through that. Like, I did that. Like, there's no way I could have done that on my own. There had to be something.
for sure. Yeah, and I heard my dad actually, and he helps me a lot with stuff like this too. And he said, whenever I start doubt whether the Lord is real or whether He's here because I'm going through something bad, I go outside. I look around at like
Yeah.
the trees, the skies, that like
You
it's real. You feel it.
and look at this and say that there's nothing. Like,
Yeah,
and from nothing. Like,
yeah.
This had to have had a creator. Like, this doesn't just come out of nothing. Is that to fall simple? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a big thing for me, and that's something I started realizing like recently. Well, not recently, a few months ago. Like, I was flying to New York, and like we were on the plane, and like looking down, and it's like, dude, like he's so big. Like, that's how big your God is. Like Todd's 10, bear 10 billion. He's like, it's like he created all of that. It's crazy to think about.
It is. Yeah.
And it's like it's easy to doubt when you're in your own mind, but then when you like, look at the whole world and look around you, it's like everything. It's crazy.
It's also reassuring,
Yeah, it really is.
especially those doubtful times in life. Yeah. So, here, were you on two? I know we went through a big segue. Yeah, I think you did too.
I did too. I
Yeah.
said, don't think about or the judgment from other people.
Yeah. And then it was don't be afraid to try something. Was that it?
Yeah. So third, and yeah, most important is keep everything you do rooted in faith.
Yeah.
Like that would have to be the third because that's most important. You know,
Yeah.
keep your faith, and it's hard sometimes. It really is.
Yeah.
And I get now. I've had moments right now.
Yeah.
Everyone does, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because life is uncertain. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
But just knowing that it doesn't make him love us any less. Like if you seek, like if you're actively truly want to find God, like he will like come after you. He will.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, how do we know? Mm. Well, actually, I'll edit this out because I'm not actually going to ask a question with that because I don't know if that's a good one. But I actually heard a song recently that had said, we, it said, he loves me as I am, but he knows that there's a better me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard that song before.
What's it called?
Uh, what is it called?
I feel like I have.
I think it's, Elevation.
It is. It's an elevation song.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the song.
Is it sure been good?
I think
I
so.
think it's sure been good.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to elevation. So
Oh, do you?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
I'm pretty sure it's sure been good.
I think so. Yeah. If I can remember right. But that's cool. How's the experience over there?
It's unreal, but
That's awesome.
it's crazy.
That's cool.
It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool, man. And like, where's that located?
Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I need to go sometime.
It's insane. Like it is like it's like another world, bro. It's crazy.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, and, like, past their verdict, like he speaks there. It's crazy. Like and then like the elevation worship man is was insane. That also it's really fun. Yeah.
Oh, their music is definitely very powerful. Yeah. Now that one song when it said it almost made me emotional when I first heard it, being brutally honest. Because whenever we're honest on here, we're honest on this podcast for sure. Whenever I heard that part first, I've always been, like I said, I've always been very, if you're not perfect, it's not, you just gotta continue to be perfect. And if you don't like what you see at the end of the day, then that wouldn't, like, the day was not successful, which is not a healthy mentality to have all the time.
Mhm.
And so when that song said that, it was eye opening to me that God loves me the way that I am, but there's so much more that He knows that I can be.
Yeah. Like he knows there's a better version of you, but he still loves you how you are.
Yeah, 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 which is very powerful to think about because we all think that a lot of, or the mindset that some people have, and that I know I've had in the past, is you have to meet up to a certain standard. We kind of talked about a little bit earlier, but it's just cool to think about, especially if you think that your life is kind of like messed up right now. Like He still loves you,
Yeah.
which
So he knows that there's a better version of you, but you're still his kid. I mean, there's nothing you can do to disappoint it. If he knows and he's in the back rooting for you, but you'll never disappoint it.
that's really awesome. Kirk. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, this last question that I got for you, man, is because we all live this life together, and I one of my biggest pet peeves in life is when people are like cliques and they don't think that you're not this way, so you don't deserve to be here. We don't welcome you in. My thought process is we're living this life together. No matter who you are, no matter what you believe, we're all journeying together. And so I want to know, man, how can I help you just like you have me?
And it's just, it's crazy to hear like that. I'm inspiring someone. That's insane to me. So
Absolutely.
you've already been it. Like I've listened to your podcast. Like, I don't know if I've told you that, but like I listen to your podcast.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it, man.
So like just doing what you do is an inspiration enough. Like what you're doing, even if it goes like you think it goes unseen, like it doesn't. Like even if it's one person, like you are impacting other people.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you listening, brother. It's this is definitely pushing me out of my comfort zone. I'm still like trying to get, comfortable and make the interview comfortable.
Yeah,
And
it's
just,
just scenario. But like seeing like from where your first one's going to like now, it's like what 10 episodes this is the 10th.
yeah, this is
So like it's already gone this far. Yeah.
well, man, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being an inspiration. I know you said you didn't see yourself that way, but you definitely are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for, you know, I'm 17 and wait, how old are you now?
20.
20. So, I mean, there's not much of an age difference there. And so seeing you, like, you're starting your life and you're confident in who you are. And it's cool to see because that's what I'm striving to try to be more like too. And obviously, there's, you're going to have ups and downs and all that stuff. But I appreciate you, man. I really do. I appreciate what you do for impact. And, there's been a lot of moments like that senior night the other night, the lock in stuff. Bro, that was, well, no, that whole senior night, the worship thing at like 2 a.m.,
Yeah.
bro, that was like
Yeah.
crazy. Like that meant a lot more to me than you think probably. Like it was crazy, man. And you played a big role in that. So I acknowledge you for who you are and for what you do for impact. You definitely are loving first and serving others and setting a good example and knowing, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna keep working for it. Wait, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, absolutely, bro. Yeah. And hey, man, I appreciate you coming on here, man.
Yeah, of course, dude. It was fun.
Yeah. And we did 50 minutes too.
It does not feel that. It's kind of worried, bro. When I came in here, I was like, dude, like, what if mine's like the shortest one?
No, man, it's not about that, man.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I bring people on here that I think are inspiration, and so definitely, man. And I appreciate you coming on,
Of
bro.
course. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Sorry, this is not the best environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the audio.
Hopefully the wind isn't too crazy.
All right, well, Journey family, I appreciate you guys listening to episode number 10. Your quote of the week this week is: "The sooner you step away from your comfort zone, you'll realize that it really wasn't all that comfortable." That's Eddie Harris Jr. Remember, guys, to always love others first, and I'll see you guys next time.